We are back. So day one of the off season, and I came out to Full Process Golf with Michael Robinson today, where we got in a really awesome day of work. I talked to him a little bit about what those performance gaps were that I felt like I needed to close based on what happened with the Symetra Tour this season, and where I can invest most of my time in order to make improvements to come out strong next season. Check out this view, okay? Whoa, that's sick. I really appreciate the feedback that I'm getting on the vlog. I've had some requests to explain a little bit about what also goes on outside of the performance aspect of being a professional athlete. At this stage in our career, it's very challenging to get an agent. So there is not anybody else besides yourself that is putting in all of the time into making sure that you have your administrative work done, your marketing, as well as practicing and working out and making sure that you're fueling your body well, and the countless things that you need to do to make sure that you perform your best. If you know me, you know that I try to use my time impeccably in order to make sure that I'm super efficient and managing my time well, and making sure that I have a great structure outlining the time that I reserve for administrative work that would go into going to a tournament, like making sure that I have all my hotels reserved, rental cars, flights, everything that you need to have lined up before you travel each and every week. And then on top of our administrative work, we have fundraising. Every event is around $2,000 to $3,000 a week, at least, of expenses when we are competing and traveling on the road. So it's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of things that you need to make sure you have all your ducks in a row before you get out there and even tee the ball up. So lots of different factors that you have to kind of manage. And then of course your game, you got to make sure that you're practicing, staying sharp, making sure that your body is feeling well, resting, on top of all the things that you do need to kind of check off the to-do list day in and day out as an athlete. So it's a lot of fun, but it's a lot of work. I thought I would just give you some insight on that. Hopefully it's interesting for you to kind of learn and realize that we don't have an organization that's managing all of the things that maybe some of the other athletes might have in a team sport. And especially in these beginning stages with the fundraising and partnerships, it's a lot of work. So I will say I've reached out to definitely over hundreds of companies, asking for partnerships, trying to find ways that I can provide value to them. I realize that, you do play golf and that's a whole job in itself, but I'm always trying to find ways that I can provide value. So, whether that's by contributing to corporate events or corporations, and with marketing, promotional initiatives, advertising, I'm very, very eager to do that. So it's just a matter of finding those opportunities. So I hope my pursuit serves to be a living example and fuels you all to achieve your goals as well.
And then soften the knees. Right cheek keeps working into that wall as you make backswing. Good. Pressure from right foot moves the glute down that wall, and then you'd be able in your left side, and now you can rotate all you want. The idea is that you're into your left side by the time your left arm is parallel to the ground in the downswing. Yep, you're left. and then you can rotate all you want.
So we took a look at my setup, took some video, came inside and hit in the hitting bay, kind of dissected what he felt like would be most important for me to do, which was just in line with what I felt like I needed. So I felt really good about that, kind of wrote up a plan of what we can do with dry work, range work, took it out to the range and saw that it translated really well. And then before I left the day, I also did a little bit of putting, which felt great. So after a few weeks off to come back, and I ended up making 15 out of the 20 putts in my little process drill or my execution drills at the end of that practice, which was great. So, you know, I'm heading off to a good start, feel really great, excited to be back, and looking forward to making progress. Okay, so today on the range, I transitioned a little bit between thinking mode and playing mode. More so in thinking mode because I really need to focus on my transition and making sure that I'm shifting my weight best from my right side to my left side through impact. It's definitely not as fluid as I would like it to be, but I did feel as though when I was in play mode, I can kind of put the pieces together. It definitely doesn't take just one range session. It's gonna take some time, but little by little, I can feel it becoming more comfortable. So very important, but I do feel as though progress was made, so I feel good about the day and ready to ride out back to do some exercises at the gym. I must say, I really like the direction of where my practice is heading after this full first week of full swing work. Left the house thinking I was leaving for Jupiter for 2 hours, ended up staying for 2 days, but totally worth it and for the better. Got in some really quality work and quality time with some friends. I think that it can be discouraging working through swing changes, but if you stick with it, you really truly do see the results as you continue to kind of progress and buy more and more into it. I think that was hard the first 2 days. It still did not feel good, but where there is frustration, there is progress, and I kept moving forward. I have a really good understanding of how I am incorporating this functional muscle patterns into my golf swing after talking with my coach a little bit more from a swing perspective. And I know that it's kind of going hand in hand and everything is coming together just as it's supposed to be.